Welcome back. This is Lucian Liu from EasyPianoHacks, and in this lesson, we're going to be answering the question, how do you know if you are improving? And that's just what I'm going to help you figure out. So, looking at the workbook, as a student, you might not have a teacher. The best way to tell if you're improving or what you need to improve is obviously with a teacher, right? If you can afford it or if you have the time, I definitely recommend it. But I understand that most of us now are self-taught. We don't have a teacher, or we've never had a teacher before, or we don't have a teacher anymore. And the way that we want to go in this journey of piano is that we want to improve. We want to make progress. So the number one question that I get all the time is, how do I know I am making progress? This is something that I had to figure out after I started teaching, is how I can improve my own music when I stopped taking lessons. And when you stop taking lessons, that's usually a sign that you are able to improve yourself and able to practice on your own, to make the necessary adjustments, the fine-tuning that your teacher would have given you. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share with you those lessons, the system that I use to improve without having a teacher. After having lessons for more than 10 years, I had to learn how to improve my own pieces, improve my own progress. And, after 10 years of lessons, you kind of understand what you need to do to make the necessary improvements. And some of us don't have the 10 years or don't have the time to put in the same amount of time as I did to figure it out the hard way, figure it out the long way, right? But here's what I can do. I can share with you the same system that I developed, that I learned from my teacher, to improve and to figure out whether or not I was making progress, okay? And I'm going to share that with you now. This is what this lesson's for, all right? So, looking at the workbook, check this out. Now, if you're on your own, I totally understand. I'm on my own right now. And when we want to improve something like improving how to read music, we want to be striving towards perfecting our sight reading level. We want to achieve a certain level of skill, and here's how you can measure that skill. Here are some symptoms of improvement that I give to people that are learning piano on their own and want to make all the progress that they can. So if you are beginning to find distances between notes by feeling for the notes as opposed to one at a time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you are beginning to do that, beginning to figure out, oh, okay, I can move my thumb all the way down here, and subconsciously, without even looking, like I can feel C is here, right? I can feel as my thumb slides over, that's another note, that's another note, that's another key, right? I can feel the distance between all of these notes as I slide up and down the keyboard, so that I know where I am at all times. If I close my eyes right now, I have my thumb on C. I have my second finger on D, right? And my third finger on E, F, and G, like that. That's why we did that exercise where we have, see all these notes? You see all these notes? I can't see all these notes, but I can feel all these notes. That's what's important here. If I wanted to reach down to B, reach down to A, or reach an octave, right? Right? I can feel all these things because I know where my fingers are at all times. And how do I know where my fingers are at all times? Well, I can use the black keys as reference. I can also feel this here, this is tactile. This is tactile memory. And moving up and down the keys here, this here, this like that, yeah, like that. That's kinesthetic memory. But the whole point of this, for you to understand, is that you can use your fingers to feel where they are and know where the position is so that you're never lost, okay? If you're starting to find that when you practice, you don't have to make a conscious attempt to understand that, as you practice, think about it more. Keep it in the back of your mind. And as you do it more, you'll start to notice, oh, I can reach this note. I'm a C here, put all the notes there. I move it up. Now I'm at an octave. I can feel for the notes and play them. And that's when it goes beyond looking at the keys, using your visual memory, looking at the sheet music. It goes beyond all that, right? So, tactile memory, okay? And kinesthetic memory, okay? Moving up and down the keys, feeling for the keys, knowing where they are. That's all that's about. So that's the first symptom. Looking at the next symptom. The eyes. So, if we are using our eyes to look at the music, that means we are focused on where we need to go when we're reading something that we don't know, right? So we are obviously, when we're driving, I like to use this analogy. When we're driving, you always look ahead, right? You know where the wheel is, you know where the controls are. You might have to look down from time to time to figure out where the, buttons and the AC and everything is, right? But you don't look at the foot pedals when you're driving, right? Because you already know that's where they are. I want you to do that the same way. I'm assuming you drive. I want you to do that the same way with your keys, with your fingers on the keys. Don't look down here if you have to, unless you have to, right? Try to keep your eyes on the road, keep your eyes on the music. So the eyes need to focus on the music, okay? Now, if your eyes are focused on the music and your fingers know what they're doing, if your fingers are, you know where your fingers are, whenever you need to reach for the AC or reach for the, handbrake or whatever. But if you need to look at the handbrake or look at the gear shift, right? You just look down once, reach up there, and you're back on the visual. You're back on the sheet music. And that's all you need to do, okay? So, that's what I'm talking about. Your visual should be focused on the music. And your tactile, your fingers should be focused on feeling, right? Feel for the keys, okay? Try that out. So here, this is the thing you can try. Physically blocking your vision from looking at your fingers. If you are having trouble just looking straight and playing without looking at your fingers like that, it might make sense for you to have somebody hold something above and just block your vision. Right? Don't even look at your fingers, right? Don't even look at your fingers, and just feel and look at the music when you play. So, for example, remember this thing over here, C, E, G, B, C. Remember this melody? So, if we're up there, okay, I know we can start by looking where we are, right? We can start there. C is there. All the fingers get a note. That's all I'm going to give myself, right? I'm going to look ahead, looking ahead at the visual. My fingers, they're feeling all 5 notes. If I need to reach down there, if I need to reach up there, that's where it is, right? So I can do this. Let's look at the music, right, real quick. Ready? 1 on the C, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, reach down. 1 and 2 and 3 and reach up. And 1, oh man, I screwed up. So, even the best of us, right? So, see what I did? I didn't quite reach A, right? I didn't quite reach A. But being able to have that switch down here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. I reached it this time. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Right? So see that C to the A? That's still a little hard for me, right? We're not going to be able to get this perfect every time, but it's a good chance, right? We can do that. So we can look for these bigger reaches. You can look down, right? But once you're there, keep your eyes on the road. You can check your rear view mirror or your side view mirrors, right? But once you're good, shoulder check. You don't keep looking at over the shoulder when you're driving. Keep your eyes on the road. Keep your eyes on where we need to go. Okay? And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? So try that. Try that at first. If it's a little hard for you, go hand separately. Try that doing it hand separately. Cover your fingers. Don't look at your fingers when you're playing. Keep your eyes on the road. And when you need to, do the jump, come back, look at the music again. Okay? That's all you need to do. All right, so moving on. Congratulations.